Now, I understand that the very first read-through of the script in 2016 happened on an interesting date.
Yes, it did.
When was the first read-through?
It was election night. This election night.
November 8th,
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah, I've sort of blotted it from my memory.
Yes.
It was a very bizarre. As I say, the show is ludicrous. And it seemed to me that that night we entered a new age of ludicrousness.
Exactly.
And
the new timeline.
The new timeline. And I think, I thought, well, this is very apt.
We've talked a lot about how shows in the family trauma genre have put on display real family dynamics, as they also portray real personal trauma through the characters on screen. But these shows are doing a whole lot more than depicting family dynamics. They also reflect real-world issues and troubles of the era they are created in. The family trauma genre isn't just a vacuum of family trials. It is also a mirror that shines back on all the chaos and hardships of our time. What up, you guys? I'm Kent E.S. Larwell, and I'm a writer, YouTuber, who talks about everything from philosophy, politics, storytelling, and more. The easiest way to support what I do is to subscribe to this channel and like this video. It's free and takes a second to do. Today we are going to go through multiple shows starting at the very beginning of the family trauma genre in the early 2000s and make our way to present day that are not only depicting family dysfunction, but also societal dysfunction in the world at large. I've pinned Arrested Development as the beginning of the family trauma genre. And yet, at this very early stage, even though we are only seeing the blueprint or blueprint of the family trauma genre, we still see it depicting a reflection of the times. In this era, George W. Bush waged war in the Middle East after 9/11, putting American boots on the ground in Afghanistan and Iraq. These wars came with great criticism from the media and the general public, which stained much of the Bush's presidency. Arrested Development works alongside this as the Bluth Company is in constant turmoil due to potentially being involved in building projects in Iraq. Later on, Buster even joins the military planning to go overseas. You can even say George Bluth's incompetence frequently mimics George Bush's incompetence of the time. The Bluth family is also a group of elites who lie and steal to evade accountability with the government that is too incompetent to ever stop them. This resonates with many companies of the time who found it easy to exploit the system for personal profit. As we reach the later years of the 2000s, we are then hit with many drug epidemics. Oxy hits the scene, damaging multiple people's lives. An influx of meth also hit the underground markets, causing entire communities to be ruined by drugs and crime. We also have the emergence of protesting and lobbying for weed to be legalized. Complemented by all this drug craze, we also get the 2008 financial crisis, putting many families in financial turmoil. It is by no surprise that we then get shows such as Breaking Bad and Weeds. Not only do these shows depict drug use and crime, but also a family trying to make ends meet while they're financially struggling. In this era, we also see Shameless take the stage as a family struggling to get by in a damaged economy. Drug epidemics and financial instability were constants of the 2005 to 2012 time period, so by no surprise we got TV shows representing these trials. Struggling to survive from the 2000s, we find millennials reaching adulthood in the early 2010s, and oh boy have they grown up with just a few odd quirks and shortcomings. After living through the cynicism of a post-9/11 era, entering the job market during the 2008 financial crisis, getting hit with drug epidemics, and perpetually growing up with the internet, it's not a surprise that the generation found itself stuck in a turmoil of loneliness, disillusionment, and an all-around pessimistic view on the world and their future in it. By no surprise, we see the rise of the nothing really matters kind of humor that you can find in shows such as Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman. These shows deal with thoughts of nihilism, existential dread, inescapable addiction, and self-destructive behavior. The silver lining these shows also bring is being more self-aware of past trauma while also pointing to a rise in mental health awareness. The grittiness of these shows being portrayed in a cartoon art form also gives a subtle hint to the millennial generation never growing up, a lost boys Peter Pan effect that millennials suffer from in the years of adulthood. And just as the millennials get over all of their hang-ups, or not get over their hang-ups as the case may be, we then enter the late 2010s where Gen Z takes the stage. What divisive, narcissistic, and all-around dickhead do you think dominates this era? How about that orange man who has plagued us for the past decade? With Trump, we get an array of issues defining the era we live in. Nepotism in business and politics, media manipulation, and the erosion of democracy. We also see billionaires hit the spotlight like they never have before, as if they are modern-day celebrities. With these richer-than-God personas in the public eye, we get to see how selfish, entitled, and outright crazy some of the super wealthy really are. If Trump is the embodiment of all of these issues materialized as a representation of this era, then Succession is the mirror reflecting this toxicity back on us. It is no secret that the Roys are supposed to mimic the Murdochs as owners of the media empire, but in terms of reflecting the era it represents, they are also given an almost uncanny copy of the Trump family. Succession puts on display how we've come to live in an age where wealth replaces morality. Reality is whatever the media tells you, and billionaires become kings. The show constantly demonstrates how petty, cruel, and alienated the rich can be from everyday people, and has done so in a way that we could almost identify any disillusioned billionaire being represented in the Roy's abhorrent behavior. Around the same time, we also get righteous gemstones, which have a similar spoiled kind of rich kid family. We also see the corruption of megachurches and religious hypocrisy. Faith being politicized and used as a grift to make money is nothing new, but in this Trump era, we do find it brought to all new heights. With many proud American Christians doing intellectual somersaults to remain staunch supporters of the MAGA movement, to the modern-day Christian nationalists vetting for relevancy, Righteous Gemstones satirize this modern use of religion for political and financial gains. It is fair to say that COVID hit us hard in one way or another, and each of us getting back on our feet was most certainly easier said than done. Many lost their jobs and found themselves relying on the gig economy to make ends meet. Many of us also lost loved ones as we simultaneously had to figure out our own lives while grieve the fallen family members. Hustle culture, mourning the dead, dealing with burnout of the post-pandemic world. All these aspects can be seen in the trials of Carmine and his family in The Bear. The Berzatos are hit with grief, financial troubles, and are constantly overworked while they try to rebuild something broken. The world keeps trying to wear them down, but they nonetheless find a way to carry on. It is by no surprise this show first hit the scene in 2022, at the very tail end of COVID-19 lockdowns and a reopening to a damaged economy. Carmine and the rest of the Bear staff represent the crisis of the service industry and the overall struggling economy we currently live in. It's hectic, it's barely pulling together, but it still finds a way to pull through. Around the same time as The Bear, we also get House of the Dragon. You might be wondering what Westeros and a bunch of spoiled dragon-riding kids in the Targaryen family have to do with us, but if you think about it, there's actually a lot more going on that relates to us than you think. The Targaryens are the ruling family that is currently tearing a nation apart due to their own selfishness and corruption. Historical feuds cause political divides which bring a once unified house into war within itself. Despite being pulled into a fantasy world, we can see the same kind of division in our own politics. The erosion of institutions, partisan politics set blue against red, and the fear of American Civil War looming around the corner. House of the Dragon may focus solely on one royal family fighting within itself, but they nonetheless represent an entire country set on burning itself to the ground, which if you look closely may hit a little close to home despite the lack of fire-breathing lizards. For the past 25 years, the family trauma genre has been doing more than just putting family trauma on display. It has also taken a lens to the society as a whole, analyzed the chaos and trials of the day, then reflected it back onto us to not only soothe our family dysfunction, but also our worldview frustrations. As we face new trials ahead, we can expect the new dysfunctional families in our TV shows to also mimic the dysfunction we face in the world at large. Thanks for watching.